Welcome back to Mindflow English. Tonight, I want you to step away from the noise of the modern world. Let's sit together in the quiet. Take a deep breath. Have you ever stood before a mirror in the morning and felt that your face was a canvas? Perhaps you've applied a touch of color to your lips or softened the lines on your skin. We often think of makeup as a collection of products we buy in bright shops, plastic bottles, glass jars, and fleeting internet trends. But my friends, makeup is as old as the human soul. It is not a story of vanity. Vanity is a shallow obsession with looks. No, this is a story of identity. It is the silent language we use to tell the world who we are, what we believe, and where we belong. For our ancestors, color was not just decoration. It was a prayer, a shield, and a declaration of power. Let us peel back the layers of time and discover how we learned to paint our history onto our skin. Our journey begins 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, a land where the sun was both a god and a fierce enemy. Here, beauty was synonymous with holiness. If you looked beautiful, you were closer to the divine. This is why everyone, rich or poor, man or woman, wore makeup. The most iconic element was kohl. Imagine the legendary Queen Cleopatra. Her eyes were always defined by deep, dark lines. But kohl was more than fashion. In the blinding desert heat, this dark powder, made of galena, acted as the world's first sunglasses, protecting the eyes from the sun's glare and keeping infections at bay. It was medicine wrapped in elegance. Meanwhile, in Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, people were crushing semi-precious stones to dust their lips with sparkle. For them, makeup was a bridge between the mortal and the spirit world. They weren't putting on a mask. They were revealing their inner strength to the sun. While the deserts of the West were focused on protection, the ancient empires of the East, China and Japan, were turning makeup into a poetic art form. Imagine the silent, silk-lined corridors of the imperial palace. Here, beauty was a discipline. Since the Zhou dynasty, Chinese royalty used natural ingredients like gelatin and beeswax to create the first nail polish, tinted with crushed flower petals. Gold and silver nails were a sign of the highest rank, a way to say, "My hands are too precious for common work." And then there are the geishas of Japan. Their look is a living sculpture. They used rice powder to create a face as white as a cherry blossom, contrasted by a single crimson dot on the lip. But beauty takes strange turns. For centuries, Japanese aristocrats practiced ohaguro, the ritual of blackening their teeth. To us, it sounds strange, but to them, pitch-black teeth were a symbol of maturity and grace. It proves that beauty is not a fixed truth. It is a story that every culture writes differently. Crossing the sea to ancient Greece, the aesthetic shifts. The Greeks worshipped natural virtue. They believed a healthy athletic body was the ultimate art piece. To them, heavy makeup suggested deceit. They preferred a whisper of color, honey to soften the skin, and crushed berries for a faint, healthy glow. But then we look at Rome. Rome was a civilization of status. For a Roman noblewoman, skin as white as marble was the ultimate symbol of wealth. It proved she didn't have to work under the sun. To achieve this, they used ceruse, a powder made of white lead. It was a poisonous perfection. They didn't know that every application was slowly destroying their health, ruining their skin, and clouding their minds. It is a haunting reminder that for thousands of years, humans have been willing to suffer for the sake of a trend. As the centuries passed, the vibrant colors of the past faded. In the Middle Ages, the church rose to power, and makeup was declared a sin, an attempt to improve God's perfect creation. A pure woman was expected to have a plain, unpainted face. But then came the Renaissance, a rebirth of light. The most striking figure was Queen Elizabeth I. She created a mask of youth with thick white lead and bright red hair. To hide the scars left by smallpox, she applied more and more powder, creating a porcelain-like shell. This was the era of rouge. People wanted to look like unmoving statues, perfect and frozen, even as the chemicals they used claimed their lives. In the 1700s, the Georgian and Rococo eras, the world became a stage. Men and women wore towering wigs powdered with so much flour they looked like walking clouds. But the most fascinating detail was the patch, or lamouche. These tiny pieces of black silk, cut into shapes like stars or hearts, were stuck onto the face. They weren't just for hiding scars, they were a secret code. A patch near the eye meant, "I am flirtatious." A patch on the right cheek meant, "I am married." Your face was a billboard for your heart's hidden secrets. In the 1800s, the pendulum swung back. Queen Victoria declared makeup vulgar, something reserved only for actors or those of low character. For decades, beauty became a secret operation. Women would pinch their cheeks or bite their lips to bring a natural flush to the surface. It was the age of invisible virtue, where your face had to reflect a good and pure soul. The year 1900 changed everything. Two giants were born, modern factories and the motion picture. For the first time, human faces were projected onto giant screens. Women saw stars like Greta Garbo and whispered, "I want to look like that." Max Factor invented foundation to help actors look flawless under harsh lights. In the 1920s, the flapper girl painted her lips a bold, defiant red. For her, makeup was a scream of independence. After World War II, the 1950s brought the glamour of Marilyn Monroe. But the 60s and 70s broke the rules. Models like Twiggy wore lashes like flower petals, and punks used black, jagged lines as a weapon of rebellion. Makeup became a language of tribes. Your face told the world which revolution you belonged to, whether you were a space-age dreamer or an angry rebel. Today, we live in a global age. We have moved from the poisonous lead of Rome to cruelty-free and vegan art. We use filters to change our faces in real time. Yet there is a powerful movement towards skin minimalism, celebrating freckles, scars, and real texture. We are finally learning that makeup is a choice, not a prison. It is a form of self-care, a way to celebrate that we are unique and alive. What have we learned on this journey? We have learned that makeup is a mirror of history. When we are free, we are colorful. When we are restricted, we hide. But remember this, the brushes and the powders are just tools. Like a painter's brush, they do not create the beauty. They only highlight the masterpiece that is already there. Your face is a map of your life. Every smile line and every chosen color tells your part of the human story. So, next time you look in the mirror, remember the Egyptian queens and the Hollywood rebels who came before you. You are part of a 5,000-year-old journey. Thank you for staying in the flow with me tonight. Sleep well, stay curious, and remember, your most beautiful trait is your own unique story. Goodbye for now.